Nasab, I
Walaikum.
wanted to ask you that would you agree that whoever from the Muslims, Jews, Christian, or Sabians who believe sincerely in one Allah and the last day and does good deeds shall have no fear or grief and will be rewarded by Allah? Or does everyone have to be a Muslim?
So everyone has to believe in, everyone has to believe in the last messenger of God, and he should have a mighty good excuse not to believe in him. For example, his message did not reach him. For example, there was some confusion about him, but this should not be the fact that he thinks that belief in the last messenger is not required, because we know that salvation is something which is dependent on how the Quran defines it. And the Quran is nothing but a book that was revealed to Prophet Muhammad. So you just cannot bifurcate the messenger and the book that he brought. If you believe in the book, it's like having belief in the messenger as well. So that is how we should proceed. The verse that you are referring to is actually telling us that people thought that affiliation with a particular sect, like being an Abrahamic follower or being a Jew or being a Christian, was sufficient for a person to enter paradise. So that verse 62 of Surah Baqarah, actually occurs in this background, and it underscores the fact that mere attachment to a particular prophet of God is not sufficient. You cannot say that, well, I am a Jew or I'm a Christian or I'm a believer, I'm a Muslim, then merely being a Muslim or merely being a Jew or merely being a Christian is something that is enough for me to go to paradise. So this particular verse is in this background, and it tells us that whether you are a Muslim or a Jew or a Christian, that is not sufficient. There are certain more standards that you need to adhere to, and that is, you have to believe in God, you have to do righteous deeds, and of course you have to believe in the hereafter.
Yes, I was quoting ayat 62. So you have to believe in the Prophet.
Of
That
course.
is a condition along with the other conditions. And then anybody who believes this will have a fair chance with Allah depending on how he's lived his life.
Correct.
That okay, okay, doctor. I get it. Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Sahab. Dr. Sahab, again, verse 62 of Surah Baqarah.
Mm-hmm.
If I read your translation of Ghamidi Saab's commentary,
Mm-hmm.
is that those who have professed faith and those who
Mm-hmm.
became Jews and those who are called Nasara and Sabin,
Mm-hmm.
whoever among them believed in God and last day and whatever. Sir, here Muslims are also referred.
Mm.
So when it says and those who became Jews, I'm not reading
Mm.
the parenthesis because those have been inserted. But the
Mm.
meaning is inna lazina amanu wal lazina hadu wa nasara,
Mm-hmm.
etc.
Mm.
So
Mm.
wouldn't that include all those who call themselves Jews, who call themselves Sabians, or even Christians?
In their own
If they
times.
believed in God, if they believed in the last day and did good deeds,
Mm.
how would that stop them from getting heaven in the next world?
Yes, let me try to explain this verse in a different way. And I think if you read the footnote which Ustaz Ghamidi has written below this verse, if I remember correctly, is something that should answer your question in a different way. And that is that expressed in this verse are the requirements of religion, or the positive requirements of religion in entering paradise or for salvation. But equally important is that a person should not be guilty of any felony, any offense. Like, for example, he has not killed someone. Because if you kill someone, then in spite of believing in God, in spite of believing in the hereafter and doing other good deeds, you'll still be liable for hell because you have killed someone. In a similar way, if you have denied a prophet of God intentionally, for example, the message of a prophet of God did not reach you, that's fine. I mean, then these conditions are sufficient. But you did not make an effort to find out critically whether people who have claimed to be prophets of God and they're calling themselves to be a messenger of God, and you did not take the pains to find them out, or you were convinced of their prophethood but you denied. So this would be a felony, this would be an offense, which would mean that in spite of these conditions, there is a negative condition that a person was supposed to honor. I mean, in a sense, it was a positive condition that it was made a negative one because he did not follow it. So it's like saying that these are the 4 conditions, but with these 4 conditions, if you end up denying a truth, then these conditions will be null and void, because it's the same thing that you believe, you're a good believer, you're doing everything fine, but you end up killing someone, or you end up doing some other criminal activity that strips you of any divine salvation. So if you believe in God, whether you're a Jew or a Christian, you believe in the last day, you believe in good deeds, and you also were led to believe in the veracity of a prophet, and you said that I'm not going to accept it. So you deliberately deny a prophet of God. So that deliberate denial is going to declare your belief in these 3 tenets expressed in this verse null and void.
So that would be only an offense, as you said. But
Correct.
if I did not, if for example, a person did not believe in the other prophets.
So the question would be, you see, the question is that a person has to be a critical seeker of the truth. And if the message of a messenger of God did not reach him, that he is the final messenger, and as a final messenger, he has a message to convey to you. If, for example, this whole scenario did not reach a person, then of course he'll not be asked. But if he did not take the pain to at least find out whether this is a true claim or not, or if he was convinced and he never ever bothered, then this is a scenario in which God could make him a negligent. I mean, he could be counted as a person who was negligent in this regard, and that negligence could be very fatal as well.